Every mechanic I know drives something boring, not because we can't afford anything better, but because after 20 years of fixing other people's mistakes, you learn exactly which cars never come back to the shop. And almost none of them are the ones YouTube tells you to buy. These are 7 Japanese cars under $15,000 that are borderline unkillable, and nobody's talking about them yet. Number 7. Pontiac Vibe. Yeah, I said Pontiac. Stay with me on this one because it is about to make a lot more sense. The Pontiac Vibe and the Toyota Matrix rolled off the exact same assembly line at the Nummi plant in Fremont, California. They had the same 1.8L Toyota engine, the same transmission, and the same Toyota quality control inspectors watching every car come down the line. The only differences are the badge on the hood and the shape of the bumpers. That badge difference means the Vibe sells for about $1,500 to $3,000 less than the exact same car with a Toyota logo on it. I am talking $5,000 to $7,000 for a 2009 or 2010 model with 100,000 miles. At that price, you're looking at one of the cheapest, truly reliable cars on the market. I had a customer bring one in with 170,000 miles, and the only thing he had replaced outside of brakes and tires was a single front wheel bearing. The 1.8L engine runs a timing chain, gets 28 to 35 miles per gallon on the highway, and I have seen them sail past 300,000 miles without breaking a sweat. That engine is rock solid. One thing to watch for, though, the 2009 and newer models came with a 2.4L engine option that has a documented oil consumption defect from the factory piston rings. There was a class action lawsuit over it. So, when you are shopping, stick with the 1.8L. Avoid the 2.4 if you want long-term reliability. Here is another thing that flies under the radar. The Vibe was actually available with all-wheel drive, the same system as the Matrix. If you find one with the 1.8L and all-wheel drive for under $7,000, that is an incredible winter car. And for the do-it-yourself crowd, every part under this hood is a Toyota part number. Body shops have told me they waited a month for a GM-sourced panel, called a Toyota dealer instead, and had it the next day. You are getting full Toyota serviceability at Pontiac clearance prices. But the Vibe is not the only Japanese car where the market is completely asleep. This next one might be the best-driving mid-size sedan ever made, and it costs less than a base Corolla. Number 6. Mazda 6, 3rd generation, 2014 through 2020. Here's something that surprises people when I bring it up. In the 2025 J.D. Power Dependability Study, Mazda ranks 3rd overall above Toyota, and the Mazda 6 is a big part of that. The 2.5L Skyactiv engine runs a timing chain, uses a high-compression design for better efficiency, and owners on the forums report 300,000 miles or more with nothing but oil changes and basic maintenance. I looked it up on RepairPal, and this thing scores 4 out of 5 with average repairs around $480 a year. That's cheaper to maintain than a Camry. Highway fuel economy hits 37 miles per gallon, and owners on long trips are seeing close to 40 miles per gallon. For a naturally aspirated mid-size sedan, those numbers are outstanding. The reason it's so affordable is simple. Mazda stopped selling the Mazda 6 in North America after 2021. No new models means no commercials, no dealer floor space, no buzz. People forgot it existed. A 2016 or 2017 touring trim with 100,000 miles goes for $7,500 to $10,000. For a car this good, that price makes no sense, and I think it's going to correct upward eventually. 2 things I always warn people about. First, avoid the turbo engine. The turbocharged 2.5 has a coolant leak issue, and there is an active class action. The naturally aspirated version is the one you want. Second, if you live somewhere with salted winter roads, get underneath and inspect the subframe and floor pans. Mazda's rust protection has been their weak spot, historically. Southern and Western cars are usually spotless. The good news for weekend wrench turners is that the Skyactiv engine bay is clean and accessible. Spark plugs, air filters, brake pads, even a 60,000-mile service can all be done in your driveway with basic hand tools and an afternoon. Now, if sedans aren't your thing, this next pick is going to change your mind about small cars entirely. Number 5. Honda Fit, 2015 through 2020. The Fit is the car that makes 0 cents on paper until you actually use one. Honda's magic seat system folds the rear seats completely flat, giving you over 52 cubic feet of cargo space. That's more than some mid-size crossovers. I've seen people haul bikes, furniture, and building supplies in these things. It's basically a tiny hatchback with a pickup truck attitude. The 1.5L engine is proven to 250,000 miles and beyond, with nothing but basic maintenance. Consumer Reports rated the 2018 through 2020 models as more reliable than average, and real-world fuel economy sits around 33 to 36 miles per gallon. A 2017 or 2019 with 90,000 miles goes for $9,000 to $11,000. Honda killed the Fit in the US after 2020 and replaced it with the HR-V, which is heavier, slower, and gets worse gas mileage. The Fit is a better car in almost every way, and it costs less. That's the definition of overlooked. One thing to watch, rust can hit the rocker panels in salt belt states, so check underneath if you're in the north. The 2015 models had a gauge cluster glitch from bad solder joints. Easy fix, but know about it going in. But if you want the absolute king of overlooked reliability, this next one is it. My personal favorite on the entire list. Number 4. Toyota Avalon. I know this sounds boring, and that is exactly the point. The Avalon was designed for retirees. The average buyer was 64 years old. And that fact alone is why you should be hunting for one immediately. Think about what that means for the car you are buying. These Avalons spent a decade being garage kept, driven to Sunday brunch, and maintained at the Toyota dealer like clockwork. You are buying a car that was babied by someone who read the owner's manual cover to cover. Under the hood sits the same 3.5 LV6 that Toyota puts in the Lexus ES350, the Highlander, and believe it or not, the Lotus Evora sports car. This engine runs a timing chain, so there is no timing belt service ever. It makes 268 to 301 horsepower depending on the year, and the reliability data backs up what I see in the shop every week. The Avalon has an 18.9% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. That is over 7 times the average for its class. I found an owner online with 332,000 miles who said the car still runs like the day he bought it. Average annual repair. Cost sits around $450. For a full-size V6 sedan, that is almost nothing. Now, here is where the pricing gets ridiculous. From 2013 to 2015, an Avalon Limited with 100,000 miles goes for $9,000 to $13,000. You get leather, a huge trunk, rear legroom that feels like a limousine, and it runs on regular unleaded, not premium. 21 miles per gallon city, 31 miles per gallon highway. One maintenance tip on older Avalons from 2007 to 2009, models used a rubber oil line for the variable valve timing system that can crack and dump your oil without warning. The fix is a cheap metal line upgrade. If you are looking at those years, confirm it has been swapped. 2010 and newer already have the metal line from the factory. If you are getting something out of this video, hit subscribe. I cover stuff like this every week so you can make smarter decisions when you are car shopping. Alright, so far we have covered a secret Toyota, a forgotten Mazda, Honda's tiny cargo monster, and a grandpa sedan with a sports car engine. This next pick is for anyone who wants luxury without the luxury repair bills. Number 3. The Acura TL. The TL is what happens when Honda builds a luxury car and then nobody shops for it. 280 horsepower V6, leather seats, premium sound system, and available super handling all-wheel drive. $8,000 to $11,000. That's less than a high-mileage Civic in some markets right now, but I need to give you the full story because this car has a complicated past. The 1990 through 2003 models had catastrophic automatic transmission failures, and that reputation stuck to the TL name for over a decade. Here's what people missed. In 2007, Honda completely redesigned the transmission. The 2007 and newer automatic has been rock solid. Honda fixed the problem, and nobody noticed, because the old reputation was already cemented. If you are an enthusiast, the 2007 or 2008 Type S is the one to hunt for. It bumps the V6 up to 286 horsepower, adds a limited slip differential, and firms up the suspension. It's basically a 4-door sports car with Honda reliability for under 10 grand. good luck finding that combination anywhere else. The J-Series V6 under the hood is a 400,000-mile engine. I've seen them go well past that with just regular maintenance. And the secret weapon of TL ownership is the parts pricing. Despite having that Acura badge on the trunk, every mechanical component is priced like a Honda Accord part. I tell my customers to skip the Acura dealer entirely and go to Honda. Same parts catalog, significantly lower labor rates. 2 warnings: stay away from the 2009 and 2010 all-wheel drive models. The 3.7 LV6 in those years has a documented oil consumption problem, and some owners needed complete engine replacements. Also, the TL requires premium fuel, which adds roughly $500 a year compared to a regular fuel car. Budget for that. For the DIY folks, oil changes and brake jobs on these are about as simple as it gets for a luxury car. Honda designed the J-Series V6 to be accessible, and the TL community online has detailed walkthroughs for just about every job you would ever need to do. Now, this next one is the pick that always starts an argument. So, let me explain before you judge it. Number 2. Subaru Outback, 2015 through 2017. I know what you're thinking. Subaru and head gaskets, but that's the old story. The FB25 engine in these years uses a completely different design than the ones that blew head gaskets left and right. Subaru fixed it, and the engine itself has been solid. The real reason this car is on the list is simple. Standard all-wheel drive for under $12,000. If you live anywhere with snow, ice, or dirt roads, the Outback gives you legitimate all-wheel drive capability, without paying crossover prices. Fuel economy is reasonable at around 25 miles per gallon in the city and 32 miles per gallon on the highway. The wagon body style swallows more cargo than you would expect. But here's my condition. The continuously variable transmission needs attention. Subaru extended the warranty to 10 years and 100,000 miles on those units, which tells you everything. If you buy one, change the continuously variable transmission fluid every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Not the factory 100,000-mile interval. That one habit is the difference between a great car and an expensive headache. This last pick is going to be controversial, and I already know some of you are going to disagree with me in the comments, but the data is on my side, so hear me out. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Just keep scrolling, but at least let me finish before you roast me. Number 1. Toyota Prius. Forget the gas mileage for a second. I know 52 miles per gallon combined is absurd, but that is not why I am putting it on this list. I am recommending the Prius because from a purely mechanical standpoint, it eliminates almost every component that fails on a normal car. The Prius straight up does not have a starter motor, an alternator, drive belts, or a conventional automatic transmission. Those 4 things cause more surprise repair bills than almost anything else I see in the shop, and the Prius just skips all of them. The hybrid system handles it electronically. Now, I know the question, what about the battery? This is the part where the fear is way bigger than the reality. A Prius hybrid battery typically lasts 150 to 200,000 miles. Taxi and rideshare drivers routinely blow past 200,000 on the original pack. When it eventually does need replacing, a remanufactured unit costs $950 to about $2,500 installed. For something that lasts that long, that is a pretty cheap insurance policy. Consumer Reports gave the 4th-generation Prius the highest reliability score they have ever given any Prius. Any generation. That is not nothing. And the fuel savings add up faster than you would think. At $3.50 a gallon, a Prius costs about $1,000 a year in fuel versus over $1,700 for a regular sedan. Over 5 years, that is almost $4,000 saved. I do not care what anyone says about Prius styling. That math is hard to argue with. A 2014 or 2015 model sits around $8,000 to $10,000, and a 2016 or 2017 model runs $10,000 to $13,000. Both are well under our ceiling. One thing to check on the 3rd-generation models. After 100,000 miles, carbon buildup in the EGR system can cause a rattle on cold starts. It is cleanable, not a death sentence, but listen for it on your test drive. The 4th generation pretty much solved this. And as a bonus, the regenerative braking system means original brake pads can last over 100,000 miles. I have seen it myself. Less wear on everything adds up fast. Those are your 7, and they are all sitting on used car lots right now for way less than they should be. Now, here is what worries me. A couple of the Japanese cars people are recommending right now belong on a completely different list and not the good one. I broke it all down in my video on the 3 worst and 4 best Japanese cars to own. That one is on screen now. And if you are actively shopping, you need to see it before you sign anything.